We were approached by Hospice Care of the West asking if we would consent to doing a video interview with my dad. My parents were both in the military. They were both very proud of their service. My dad said the most important thing in his life was his family. The video was just a real gift to our family.
And our next guest is somebody we've had the pleasure of working with for a number of years here in the village. Gemma Heffernan joins us again today, and she's representing Hospice Care of the West. Gemma, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Rob. Delighted to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you on the program. So, holiday season, the most wonderful time of the year, happy, sing, eat fruitcake and all that good stuff. A lot of times folks have a chance to visit family members or friends. They come back and they say, you know, Aunt so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so or Mom or Dad just didn't seem quite as sharp as I remember them last time I saw them.
They walk into the house and the first thing they see is the gathering mail. Some of the envelopes opened, some of them just sitting there, and they wonder if there are bills to be paid, sometimes they're checks. It just becomes too overwhelming for people as they start having some memory issues. They look at it, they say, I can't quite make it out, I put it aside. I'll get to it later, but it never gets to it later. Mm-hmm. They go into the kitchen, they find everything cluttered, scattered. Mom was always very, very tidy, and she's not picking up now. There's food spoiling in the refrigerator. It's gone in there, some of it's bad, should be out of the refrigerator. Sometimes it's just gathering and mold and everything on it. The pots may be burned at the bottom where they put it on the stove. Forget about it. These are signs of memory impairment. Mm-hmm. So you can go through the home and just look at all these things. Some of the very concerning things are medications are not being taken on time. They've been prescribed and they're just sitting there. They've missed doctor's appointments. Sometimes it's getting somebody in the home to help a little bit, being exploited, responding to telephone calls and sending money to people inappropriately. All of these things come to light, and not all of those things in one home, of course.
They're all, but any one of those might be a sign.
Depression, withdrawal, social withdrawal. So family comes in from town from out of state, and they don't quite know what's going on, and they don't quite know where to turn. So this is what happens when I was here in Leisure World. The Monday after the holiday weekend, the phone would start ringing, and the children would be here saying, look, I don't know where to turn, I don't know what's available, I'm very concerned, can you help? So you have a wonderful social service department here you can turn to for that. But there are lots of seniors living out there in apartment buildings and other areas who families come in and they don't know where to turn. So do go to the social worker at the senior center, or start making some phone calls to find out what the services are.
You know, I know there's a lot of great services, and of course for the folks right here in the village, as you mentioned, the social services department down on the first floor. The senior centers are great. There's also government agencies. I know the county has individuals that will make an inspection, and they do it under the guise of, I'm a friend of Gemma's, and she just asked me to drop by and say hi and see how you were doing.
Right.
In fact, there's somebody from the county, and they're doing it as part of their job to check on seniors to see if things are all right.
Right. Council on Aging has some very good programs. But start in the senior center, start locally, because you have case managers, and most of the senior centers that are in South Orange County are related to Age Well.
Right.
And we hire these people, and the girls go into the home, the social workers go in and check on, and they have them as their regular cases. So they're very well informed on what the services are. There's also attorneys, elder law attorneys available to help with finances, to, put things in a trust, or prepay funeral arrangements or whatever in order to be eligible to get some services through the Medi-Cal program.
Right.
They're all very well versed on those programs and know where to turn set things in motion. They have developed relationships so they can steamroll some of these things through.
You know, a lot of times people do know where to turn, are reluctant to move though, and
Yeah.
they're happier staying in their home. And I know the goal of most of the social workers that I've interviewed the last 40 years here on this show all kind of say people do really better, whether they're coming up from the hospital after surgery or after having some kind of a illness or other activity. If they can return to their home, they seem to get better quicker and do better in their home. And the whole hospice concept, when people are in the last 6 months of life, also tries to keep people in the home as well.
As long as possible. And most of our people die in their home. We do provide services to patients in nursing homes and board and care homes
Right.
and assisted living. We go into all of those facilities. But I just had a case now of a lady who fell twice, had paramedics to her home twice on Saturday, had no recollection whatsoever of the falls, of the paramedics being there. And I asked her, I said, you know, what do you want to do? We have to make some changes here. She said, I want to stay home. And her power of attorney is sort of a nephew. She calls him a nephew, but he's not really related. And when I called him, he said, we're paying $1,800 a week for care for her in the home at the moment. And I've been told because of the falls, they might have to go to 2 12-hour shifts, and I
Right.
can't afford to pay $600 a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, finances are quite exorbitant when it comes to around-the-clock care.
A lot of times people want to think about, as they call it, the continuum. You know, I'm going to live in a home for a certain number of years, raise my family, then I might move to a condo, maybe a place like here, like Laguna Woods Village, and then eventually maybe a board and care or some other facility. And I know from talking to you folks over the years, you don't want to move too soon, but
Yeah.
you don't want to move too
Too
late.
late,
And timing is
right.
everything in that area.
Yeah, because when you're a little healthier, you develop the relationships. You know, if you go in there and you're sick into assisted living, you're going to spend most of your day in your room alone. But if you have a little vitality about you, then yesterday as I came out of Villa Valencia, by the way, I saw somebody, a familiar face. She and I were nurses here. She was a nurse here at Coordinated Home Care and a Hospice of Saddleback Valley, and we worked together in the 80s, and she's now a resident over there. And she's with it, ambulatory, able to get around, so she heeded that lesson.
Yeah.
She was sitting with other people there, and I didn't have time to talk to her then, but I said, I'll be back because I have a patient here, and we can get together and
Good.
talk. So she made the right decision to go in while she was still
Yeah.
capable of participating and
Timing.
enjoying it.
Timing is everything. Yesterday was Veterans Day. Actually, the actual day was Sunday, but we had the day off was on Monday. A lot of our veterans aren't aware of the benefits they have as well, including hospice care and other things that are available for our veterans in a very special programs.
They are very special to us, and we ask this one of the questions we ask when we admit a patient. And we have to always remember to ask the women too, because some of our
Yes.
patients have been
Yes.
women and had very,
More so now than ever.
very accomplished lives.
Yes.
So we always ask, and it's a big focus of Hospice Care of the West. We take special notice of them, make sure they're validated and thanked, express the gratitude of the nation for their service. And they enjoy that. They enjoy that special care. Also, several of them have had life reviews with us, which
Yes.
is provided free of charge. And we have a volunteer program that oversees that. They come to the home. The family can be there if they want the family, or we can just have the patient where they review their life. And this is a great gift to the family afterwards. It takes a while for us to get it back to them. We give them back the total as-is recording on a video, and then we have an edited version with music and everything, and they're very polished. Some of our volunteers are in the movie industry,
Aha.
and they're providing their service free.
Great. That's
so
great.
it's a great gift to them at the end of the journey of hospice.
Sure. Lots of things available through Hospice Care of the West. If you want to find out more, perhaps somebody you're caring for might find that service appropriate, give them a call. It's 1-800-405-1159. And Gemma, we want to thank you for joining us. We wish you a good holiday season, and we will, I'm sure, talk to you in the future.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you. Good to have you on the program today. Again, Hospice Care of the West, give them a call if you want to find out more information about their services. We continue on with more to talk about with you as our program continues for this Tuesday.
was the most wonderful, sweetest 2 hours sitting in the sun, letting Mom tell stories. She was a pilot during World War II with the Women's Air Force Service pilots. Hospice Care of the West really helped us find a way to find joy in all of this. And that video, it's a gift that we've not just given her, it's a gift we've given ourselves.